Hey there guys, my name is Blake, also known as ASmallOne. We're back with another Minute 39. It's been a while, but I wanted to make this episode because there'll be something I would like to tell you guys about it in the end. So if you're watching this premiere, you may want to stick around until then, but if you're watching this after, I'm pretty sure there's a timestamp where you can go to for something that may not be good news for a lot of you in terms of the series, but I feel is one that is completely necessary. Anyways, we have mostly a lot of colorful stage ones, but we also have two requests in Megamix, so we're gonna jump into this one first. And spoilers, the last one's also gonna be Megamix as well, at least for the viewer requests. The last one I'll get into a little bit later. So from Josh Marshall, we have Dreamin' Choo Choo, where there's no specified difficulty, but he wants me to sing the song in Japanese. My Japanese is not that good, so I heavily apologize to anyone who speaks Japanese, but I will try my darnest anyways. And this is also gonna be karaoke form, so I don't know how this is gonna turn out. But let's see. So this is probably my 5th attempt of doing this because I don't know the lyrics that well. I haven't practiced. Plus, this is gonna be a little bit quieter, kind of ASMR-ish because I need to look at the lyrics first off, which I have another screen, but number 2, someone else is at the house I'm at, and I don't want them to hear me embarrassingly mess up a song in another language they don't understand. Still getting comfortable with recording again around people without making too much noise. You know how it is. Here we go.
恋心を乗せた純情可憐なの猫の目の下くまくまこにしら
Oh my gosh, that sounded bad. That sounded good.
特別な日さドリームチューチューシュカラタタタタスイートなのさおきなりねドリームチューチュー What was I at? タタタそのハートにね星なにさ
Wow, I really mixed up the words. Check it out.
タタタタピタなエレサリスにねドリームチューチューシュカラタタタタ
Okay, I'm just so glad I'm going to be mixing the actual song with my lyrics because oh my gosh, this is going to sound freaking terrible. This was requested. I chose to do this.
放課後のじわさ胸ざる大変な秘密の道が私の体を震わせた未開蓋なり
I am really wow. That okay.
スイートなのさおきなりねトリリンチューチューシャガラタタタタそのハートにね届きたいなトリリンチューチューシャガラタタタタ
Oh my gosh, it's up to me too. It doesn't matter.
私の心と君の心君の心と私の心その日を過ごした口と夢の先で何度も言ったでこの時計は世界を知り尽かたらよこの空にて君だけの手にスイート
Oh, I really am.
黒かにねぶつけないでねドリームシュシュシャカラタタタタスイートなのさえ僕にねドリームシュシュシャカラタタタタ間に歌いたいなドリームチューチューシャカラタタタタピタなのさ別にねドリームチューチューシャカラタタタタシャカラタタタタシャカラタタタタ
Oh my god. Well, Josh, you asked for this. You honestly did. Some parts of it could have been better, I will say that much, but this was definitely kind of fun. I definitely need to practice more of my Japanese. Oh my gosh. What the f was that? So I don't know how good my singing is, but I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's just pre-ranking. I may have actually done the 7 out of 10. I may have done more, but for me, that's a 7 out of 10. Which is still good. Anyways, thank you Josh Marshall for the very interesting take on a request. I've not done anything like this. And let's move on to the next one. And now we jump to the world of mobile with our next request from John Boonstra, who apparently had my videos disappear from his recommendations. Has that been happening a lot with you guys? I feel like because I've been uploading as consistently as I would like to, that in this series itself hasn't been uploaded consistently. I feel like a lot of people just don't really get the notifications. Make sure you ring the bell, by the way, so you get notifications when I go live. That's my best advice. Also, like the video and subscribe. Anyways, he requested Becoming Potatoes on the hard or extreme difficulty, choice of vocalize and modules, and we either had to get a perfect, a B rank, or an A rank. Some easy tasks, especially with the setup that I have, which is probably going to be guaranteed B rank. I don't know why I had so many words come together and then it just went into a nice moaning sound. Wow, that sounded so bad. I'm just gonna play the song right now. Forget I said anything. Yeah, see, my setup wasn't too bad for the B ranking. Really wish I didn't miss that many notes to get an A rank, and there was no way I would have gotten perfect on the first attempt. Although that would have been really cool to actually get that, as well as like a B rank or an A rank, or just do all three at once. But hey, at least I achieved one of those, and I think Joe just really wanted me to do either one of those. Not all of those. If he wanted all those, it'd be an and not an or. I know how to read, guys, I swear. Anyways, thank you, Joan Booster, for that request, and let's move on to the next one. On to the next one, and I don't know if this was a repeat from the last episode. I don't get that many requesters nowadays, so it's kind of hard to tell. Actually, for the most part, it's kind of easy to tell who's requested before and who hasn't. I don't know if Mikudai requested in the last episode, though. I believe you did. Let me know either in the chat, in the live thing, or in the comments if you missed it. But for Mikudai, she requested Charles, either the flower or the virtual single version, one with the flower one, since that's the default. On the hard difficulty with Miku in the Nightcore 25-hour module, and Mayufu Ashahina. I think I pronounced that right. It's not Leonid, it's Nightcore, I believe she's in. Yeah, I really don't catch up with a lot of the characters aside from the Vocaloids and like Vivid Bat Squad and Leonid. The other ones, I just don't know that much about, so it took me a little bit. I did have a 3-star for her, luckily, so that wasn't too bad to kind of figure out because, again, it was a 3-star. And, We also had to do the 3D MV, which is going to be a fun surprise for you guys in case you haven't seen any colorful stage content, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have, so it may not be that big of a surprise. I'm gonna say this, it's kind of interesting to seeing only 2 of the characters that I've selected appearing in not all 5, which is actually kind of a good change of pace. I had the other 3 selected just for a boost because there was an event going on, and with those characters combined to not only increase their points, it also increases the bonus that I get to 60% in total, so that was actually really good. I do get the gacha later, but spoilers, I don't really get the character. What characters I get, you'll have to see towards almost the end. So there's that. Anyways, thank you Mikudai for that request, and let's move on to the next one. Wow, Messenger pops up as soon as I'm ending off this portion for the next segment. Crazy. I love how for the Project Diva request, there's a whole bunch of like specifications, which I love because it gets me to go around and like try to find the costumes, but for Colorful Stage, because a lot of it just require money and crystals, it's not that easy to come across. So they're all like, just choose whatever you got, and I appreciate you guys for that. But from Narwhal, speaking of, we have Sekai on the hard difficulty with any characters. I believe I went with one of my main lineup that I use, including Ann, Miku, Kaito, Luca, and Len. Sorry, Rain or Mako, you never get the spotlight here. And we must have the background brightness at 100%, which is our default anyways, and the lane opacity to 0, which I never knew you could change, but I should have looked at the settings a little bit more the first time I played this, and I would have known. I think in future videos or like future gameplays of it, I think I might have it at 50%, because you'll see later on that it actually helps tremendously with viewing the PV while also playing the game. For someone playing the game though, it might be tricky.
くれてもいいよ。君と見たい世界へ。
Yeah, at first it really psyched me out not having the lane there because that kind of gives me an idea where I need to like hit the notes, but it quickly, I quickly got comfortable with it, so it wasn't actually all that bad. And as I mentioned earlier, in the future I'm probably doing it 50% to kind of give both the lane experience as well as the PV experience for me. So thank you for encouraging me to actually lower the lane opacity. I almost said latency. This is me combining words, lane opacity, so that way I can enjoy the PV, but I think in the next one I might have adjusted it to 50%. But anyways, thank you Narwhal for that request, and let's move on to the final request for Colorful Stage. And for our final Colorful Stage request for this episode, and maybe a while, again I'll explain that later, we have Gaming Chili Hedgehog who requested Unknown Mother Goose on the hard difficulty, nothing else is specified. This was a long requested song for the Project DIVA series, and even Make Mix didn't have it, which was very surprising because I believe this is like one of those really popular songs. I even listened to it after playing this game, and I'm like, yeah, there's a good reason why so many people like this song and wanted it in Project DIVA. It's damn good. I'll let you listen to it in case you haven't, but man, is it a good bop. But also the gameplay is very good for this song. You'll see what I mean.
くれてもいいよ。そろそろ僕たち活躍しないとね。さすがさ。いいね。ちょっとアドリブ入れたくなる。ってみんなからもう入れてるし。 ここまで順調ね。さすがだわ。僕だけじゃなくて、みんなのおかげだよ。
The only thing that really tripped me up was the beginning a bit, but other than that, it wasn't actually really too bad. Yeah, I also looked at it, and I set the opacity to 50%. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, and hopefully I remember to put that in at some point, but yeah, the opacity for the line was 50% to make it a little bit easier to get to. But other than that, this was such a fun song to do and to play. And hearing this song so many times is actually a really good bop. It's like one of those songs that will never get old. No matter how many times you listen to it, it doesn't get old. It still stays fresh. Man, that was a weird way of saying stays fresh. Anyways, enough of my bad wording sometimes. Thank you, Gaming Chili Hedgehog, for that request. And that is it for all of the colorful stage requests, so we have one more Make It Mix to do. So after a nice long session of colorful stage on my phone with actually no distractions, which is very nice change of pace. I normally don't get that lucky with notifications because either someone messages me on text or Messenger, or I get notifications for TikTok, etc. because I have a lot of followers on TikTok. Follow me on there, by the way. We are back to Project DIVA Mega Mix with a final request for this episode, and maybe for a while, but I'll get into more details on that with the next song that I do. From Matthew Puddock, he requested Tokyo Teddy Bear on the medium difficulty, which I assume he meant normal because normal is the closest we could get to medium, with Miku in the Space Channel 39 outfit and no additional features. Just the way a lot of people like it. It's just the modules, no extra fancy details. I'm pretty sure some people do, but for me it's like, it makes it a lot easier to record this. Anyways, let's see how well I do on the normal difficulty. Will I perfect it or will I not? If you thought I was gonna perfect it, man, you lost your $5 bet. I don't know if you're actually betting money or not. I actually hope you weren't. Please save your money for other things aside from like betting. You might need that $5 for food or a couple Reese's bars. That was the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, it feels weird to go back to medium. I mean, medium isn't the hardest thing on earth, but I been playing a lot of hard and extreme on any Project Diva game that doing media can kind of throw me off for a loop. It almost didn't, but then I missed that one note and I got a save on that, which doesn't matter in terms of medium because it doesn't really keep your score or anything like that. But if I were to go back, I probably would have been able to perfect it, but for this episode, perfecting things isn't really the goal. It was just to clear the songs, have some fun, and that's all that matters to me. So anyways, thank you Matthew, and thank you to everyone for this episode for making the requests. And now it's time for our final request. Actually, not the final request, but the final song for this episode. Enjoy. So, it's been quite a while since I last was in Project Diva X, but I have a good reason for this. In the beginning of the series, we started off our journey with the beginner medley. That was actually part of a request, and going back to that, it kind of gave me an idea of what I wanted to do should I decide to end the series. I'll explain this a little bit later on, since it'll be a little bit easier for me to live narrate this. This is not actually post narrated in case you couldn't tell. But I wanted to do the ultimate medley as the end. So we're gonna do the ultimate, or the ending medley. Ultimate medley, you get the idea. And I want to do it on the cloud story mode thing. Basically the same thing we did with the very beginning. I'm not gonna do it on hard. I don't trust myself with the extreme version. And I'm just gonna do the ultimate Miku, if I can find it. It'd be a lot easier if I were to do it this way. There we go. Ultimate Miku. Nothing more, nothing less. I think this is a great way to end off this episode, and something I'll explain a little bit later. Although, do I want extra modules? Nah. If I get it, then I get it. Did I accidentally hit circle? I did, didn't I? I was busy looking at a text message. That's my excuse. Anyways, I'm also recording both my audio and gameplay with OBS, so I will need to mute my microphone on my end so that you guys can enjoy the music. Because man, this is a good medley. How did I get a save there? Doesn't matter that much. And I didn't get an exact module that I wanted. But, you hate to see it end on a save. You really do. On the plus side, I am super glad that I did not do extreme. And I'm glad also that I didn't do it on the free play, but rather in the cloud mode of the game. Otherwise, it would have been a little bit more embarrassing. It might have been standard. Actually, now that I think about it, it wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, that was some way to do the quote unquote final request. Now that's what it calls singing. Way to gather more voltage. But now you gotta do to make it better next time. Our combined efforts are really going to take us places. Wait. Is that it? Okay, alright. So, to make it easier, I have my television muted, but I'm also going to minimize this so that way I can actually focus and not look at Miku all the time. As I give you guys kind of an announcement that for many of you will be disappointing, but we'll draw a good conclusion to why these episodes of Minute 39 have been going as slow and inconsistent as even I would want them to be. I worded it better before recording this, but as per usual, whenever I record, it doesn't really word that well. I'm gonna be honest, I have felt burnout for this series for quite a while. And understandably, I've done this series for over 5 years, so stuff like a burnout is bound to happen. And with that, I've had to make a very tough decision that took me well over a month after the last episode to conclude whether I want to do this or not. And I think for the better, I think it is a good idea to do this. So I am going to put the series on a indefinite hiatus, meaning you won't see that many episodes or any episodes for a long while. And again, think of it as kind of like a break and something that I feel is necessary because, again, I've been doing this for well over 5 years. This was definitely not the easiest decision to make, but I think it's one that will be better for me because I've lost the spark of motivation to be consistent with the series as I used to be. But this does not mean the end of Mega Mix content or Project Diva content as a whole. There will still be plenty of Project Diva content. I've had numerous ideas for different Project Diva contents, including some controller challenges like you've seen, like the world's smallest Switch controller, and I believe I also did the GameCube controller challenge, so those sort of things are still going to be in there. I'll be streaming Project Diva stuff on Twitch, so make sure you check out Twitch to see when I go live with some Project Diva stuff. And I may or may not be doing a Let's Play on a Project Diva game. That's all I will say about that specific Let's Play is that's a maybe. But as it stands for Minute 39, unless I can get some sort of spark of motivation again, you will not be seeing any episodes for quite a while. And I don't know how long the break will be for this series. It may take a month to find a motivation, it may take a year, or it may take over 10 years when YouTube isn't that relevant anymore, like another site popped up that's better than YouTube. But I will need to find a motivation, probably when a new Project Diva game comes out. Maybe then I'll have the motivation. But who knows how long that could take. Again, it could take a year, could take several. I think, again, this is in my best interest and the best for me to kind of step back from Minute 39, give it the break that it needs, and then hopefully come back with a bigger urge to make more episodes and keep it as consistent as I wanted to. So this isn't a goodbye to the series. This is a close of a new chapter, and hopefully there will be another chapter. If there isn't, I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. And if there is, I hope you look forward to that next chapter. But until then, this is normally a part where I say please leave your requests, but with the series being put on halt, you don't have to. Leave a comment with your request in the format description below. But thank you guys so much for making Minute 39 the series that goes beyond what I expected it to be. I really do appreciate you guys putting in as much effort to make this series a reality as I have. It's a team effort, and I could not be prouder of the series that it has been. And it probably will be in the future. So anyways, with that said, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of Minute 39. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor, drop a like, comment, whatever, because I'm not taking any requests for now. Again, with the hiatus. I feel like I repeat myself so much. I repeat myself a lot, don't I? Subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when any future video comes, including Project DIVA content. Again, that's not going to go away anytime soon, just the Midday 39 series is going to be put on hold for a bit. Anyways, with that being said, Miku's taunting me, but I will see you guys in my next video. So until we meet again, do remember to take care. Thank you guys.